What's up, everyone? So today I'm here with Andrej. He's a friend of mine. We met in a course that we did a long time ago. And Andrej actually has a few interesting ways of doing things in terms of marketing his business. So he does things really differently to the way I do, which is why this should be a pretty interesting conversation. But just to get started, Andrej, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got into online business in the first place?
Thanks, Dylan. That's a great introduction. So what I'm doing is I'm freelancing and I'm building my personal brand. So we both started to do an agency, do the job servicing business, learn the marketing and all ins and outs and everything that you need as a business. But for me, I did it a little bit different. So in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of money. I have basically zero money. So I have a lot of time to invest and do everything and learn and just do it slowly while I was still studying. And I basically created a profile on Fiverr and on Upwork, got my first project, then built my personal brand, and then just went from there.
Okay. And what made you want to get into online business in the first place? Because it's not really a normal decision, especially back then.
Absolutely. It's not a normal decision. But the main thing is for me, I always was very interested about money. I didn't know how money is made, how money goes, just how people make money. When you work for someone, you aren't really in control. And when you want to be in control of your own money, you want to make more, and just how many hours, how much time you put in, the more money you make is just basic common sense. But when you go to work for someone, it's not the case. So yeah, I was mainly interested in that. So I learned online business to start my own project and to have a few businesses per project and just can earn way more money, and just went from there, from learning to build my first business, my second business, my personal brand, and scale from there.
Okay, so how did you exactly discover online business? What was your early journey like?
My early journey was very similar to yours. We were with my brother in a room and we were thinking, we saw this ad on, learn the freedom of online business, travel, drink cocktails in Thailand and work from there and learn everything you need to know to be wherever you choose to be, do whatever you choose to do. And so, we just took a program. We took one course and it started our journey. And then from that, read a lot of books, more courses, interact with other people, join a few groups. And that's pretty much what got me started.
So you and your brother, Tomasz, kind of joined at the same time back in the day.
Yeah.
And you guys went in quite different directions as well, though, really, right? Did you do similar things in the beginning?
Yeah, so in the beginning, we started with the job servicing module. But the main thing was that for me, I was very attached to myself. I had an identity as an architect because I finished a master's of architecture. And I was, what I want to be doing, I just want to be working in the visualization, 3D design space. And we just created the course, and his job was more the marketing, the direct calling, the getting sales in, and my job was to take over the product development process and just have the whole product, the whole process with each client on just delivering great service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you handled more like the project side. And when you started your business, you kind of moved into the freelancing side of things very, very quickly. So, what was your decision making like around deciding to become a freelancer in the first place? And tell us more about that process.
Oh, yeah. So for me, the beginning was, it was just because of my journey, it went very naturally. So in the beginning, I started to develop. So I was very good in the process of developing a product. I was very good in managing, talking to clients. I educated myself a lot in that. So yeah, I was working on project and working with clients. And I was doing that a lot. And I was thinking, so I can have either an agency, but people actually interact more. People appreciate it more when they work directly with someone, when they don't have an agency behind it. And it's kind of like a personal brand. It's just me working at somebody's office, somebody's agency, being directly there, but it's actually more freedom. They pay less money and I do a better job because I can do it from wherever I choose to. I have all the freedom to do whatever really I choose to. And it's just me guiding and communicating with the clients, putting them through the whole process, advising them on what works, what doesn't work, and just, going through the whole freelancer process. And it just came naturally to me.
Okay, yeah, for sure. That makes sense. And I guess the next interesting thing would really be, maybe you could tell us about that journey from, just getting into online business in general and then actually getting your first sale. What was that process like for you? And tell us a story.
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing was that I tried the first agency and it kind of worked. It was okay. I got a few projects and it was okay. And then I was experimenting on doing it from my personal brand. So I created a profile on Fiverr. I started to learn the platform, how can I get sales consistently, and also Upwork. And what I learned is that I didn't thought it would be like that, but I just got regular sales without any marketing. People were just reaching out to me. They bought from me. It was just communicating with them, guiding them through the process, make a service that usually lasts for weeks just into 3 days. So it was just delivering the project, advising them, and just making it in record time. And yeah, I got a lot of projects. So my basic journey was that in the beginning, I was working 1 year on that. So learning the whole process, the whole program, trying out different things, learning everything. And as soon as I got my first 2 sales, it was, I think, $200 or $400. I went straight to Spain. So I went straight to Spain. My brother was already there. And we just had a flat. I was getting in regular jobs, regular projects, and I could just live on that. And that was for me mind-blowing. I could just choose my location, be with amazing people in Spain. And yeah, it was kind of like a dream, starting living the dream.
Yeah, okay. And it basically took you a year to get to that stage, which is pretty cool. And once you got to that stage of your profiles on Upwork and Fiverr, etc., were working well, you were getting regular projects, what was kind of the next stage for you? Did you start automating things, or did you go after bigger projects?
Yeah, so I took a course, actually like 3 courses about freelancing, about Fiverr specifically and about Upwork specifically. And they were all, how to automate your business there. I never thought about it. I could automate it. That's good. And the main thing is just building procedures, not thinking about the messages you're sending, because when you are doing it for a certain amount of time, you realize that all the messages are the same. Everyone has the same questions. All the messages are the same. It's just templates. So whenever somebody reached out, I was reading the message to make it more relatable, more customizable. So specifically for that person. But it was after a few months, I just figured out it's basically the same message. It's the same message. So the platform has a feature that you can just, with 2 buttons, you can just send a message, a template. It's very easy like that. So that was the first thing when I was automating messages. The second thing was hiring actually a person who does the projects. And that was huge for me because then I could just communicate, just do the marketing thing, just work on only the marketing and communication, what is the main thing as a freelancer. And then after a while, you figure out, oh, I don't even have to do this because it's the same and same and same thing every day. And other people that invest more time into it, they do a better job and they can just talk. And whenever I am talking to someone, I just tell them, oh yeah, I have a team. I have a team. I deliver more, better results because we have a great process. And they just appreciate it way more. Before that, I was thinking, oh, I need to be myself doing everything. And people, when I was just talking with people, with my clients, they all understood and they appreciated way more when everything was doing collectively with a process. And yeah, it's just a better experience for me and for the client because I'm not overwhelmed. They are not overwhelmed. They get the full experience. They get the best result. And yeah, so for automation, there were pretty much templates, having all the messages consistent and prepared and automated. And then is hiring the right people. And at the end is just maximizing, scaling your marketing efforts. So those are the three things that were the most impactful when automating the whole process.
Okay. And in terms of automating the delivery of the services, what was the strangest thing for you where, of course, the people that you're hiring generally are on the same platforms that you're selling on? So what's kind of the process you go through to convince someone to, work via your profile versus doing it themselves on the platform? That's a question that I get quite a lot about this freelance kind of stuff.
That is a very good question. And the main thing about that is that people actually don't think like that. People don't think like, oh, I am an entrepreneur, I am a business owner. They want to work in a specific role. So project management, project development, customer support, you get a lot of those. And the main thing about that is just building procedure, guiding them, talking them through that process and being their mentor. So really experiment, giving them guidance, giving them the resources, courses, everything. It should be a learning community. So everyone that works with you, they work in a collaborative team. It's not an office, but it's kind of like a virtual office with your team. And it's so whenever I choose somebody, it's a long process. I take around few weeks, month more to hire the right person. And for my first project manager, I went over 200 people. I interviewed every one of them. And the main thing was I chose one that was the main important thing about this is communication. People don't communicate correctly. They don't communicate enough. And whenever somebody misses deadlines, they are apologetic. They are, oh, excuse me, I couldn't attend the right time. First time you think, okay, it's okay, but it's a repetitive pattern, and it's just being consistent, being very consistent in communicating. There is no such thing as over communicating, and you should always have a very transparent, open relationship with whoever you work with, your clients, with your employers, with everyone. And that's the main thing when you hire someone. People want to work. Most people don't want to be entrepreneurs. They want to have a steady job position, a steady work where they can. It's basically the freelancer job. You can have one client, which I don't recommend, but you can have a lot of clients, and you have steady work that you are doing. And yeah, it's just one thing that you're good in, and you deliver that to your clients, to your employers consistently, and you get the money that you are worth for. Does it make sense?
Yeah. That's basically the same thing I will usually say. I mean, most people think
Yeah,
that they're tricking the freelancers or something like that. But at the end of the day,
yeah,
freelancers want projects, and if you can deliver projects to freelancers, they're going to be happy to work with you, even if it's on the same platform. Because maybe you've already built your profile up and you're already getting a lot of clients applying. They're going to want to join that profile rather than building their own profile up. Because first of all, it takes a lot of work and skill to know the strategy to build your profile up, and it can take a lot of time too if you don't know what you're doing. So when you're a freelancer and you're delivering
absolutely,
a project, you usually focus on delivering the project, not on the marketing and sales side, which is a really important thing because, if the freelancer doesn't have any of the marketing and sales side, they're not getting any projects, which means they're not making money. So it's really important to them to have that consistent
absolutely,
stream of clients. Yeah, so that's why they work with us at the end of the day.
absolutely. And the main thing is, I hire freelancers. I get hired by other companies that need freelancers. Is just bringing in value from whatever you need. I am glad to pay somebody $100, $500, a few $1,000, a few $10,000, depends on what problems they are solving. I pay them gladly because I would need a year or a few months, or doesn't matter how much. I would just need a lot of time to do this on my own, and I want the best. I want it now, and I want somebody who just does it for me like that. And that is a very valuable thing for everyone. And when you figure out the value of that, so the main thing about me when I learned that was just something, is just cutting the grass outside of your house. So I could do this once a week. I can do this regularly, but it will take so much of my mental space. I don't like to do that. I just rather pay somebody $20 to do this for me, and boom, it's just done. It would take me months thinking about it, buying the right equipment, doing everything that's necessary. But on the other side, I can just pay somebody $20 to do it like that. It's done. It's done once a week, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to add on
And
to
that's
that, I mean, if you take that same analogy of mowing your lawns, also the other
yeah,
thing is you're not going to want to go and interview 20 different lawn mowers to figure out who's got the best pricing and who's got the best lawn mower and all of that. You just want to find someone who seems decent and pay them the $20 to do the job because it's not a major risk to
absolutely,
you. Same thing with these companies that we're working with. They pay us thousands of dollars to save them time, so they're not wanting to invest even more time to figure out who the perfect provider is. If you seem legit and they trust you, they like your offer, they're going to work with you. You're just being in the right place at the right time a lot of the time. So that's another thing as well. You're not always competing with, them looking at every single different price. People are often trying to, look at every single price of their competitors and say, oh, this person's charging this much and they're charging this much. Maybe I should charge less and stuff like that. But you're not competing on
absolutely.
price. You're never competing on price.
Absolutely. I pay gladly hundreds of dollars for somebody who does this for me if they just do everything for me. So if I don't need to guide them, I don't need to manage them. If they come to me and say, oh, we will do this for you, we will mow this once a week, we will communicate, tell you everything what we did, and you don't have to even think about it. It will just be like that. I would pay them gladly a few $100s, and I would fire somebody very quickly if they'll be like, oh yeah, we're in the we're in the lawn cutting industry. We need from you to fill out a questionnaire 3 times a week. We need a lot of information for you. You need to basically be there, guide us through the whole thing, and we will maybe cut it. Maybe we're not sure yet. We will learn when you want it to happen. And that's just not a good, appealing thing for me. When somebody just comes, oh yeah, I did this before. Here is a case study. Here is a few examples. Here are testimonials. We did it before. You don't even have to think about it. We will do it once and then we will do it repeatedly. Yeah, that's valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, so true. I think it's just a general limiting belief for people that are kind of new to business. They think that there's some
Absolutely.
kind of, specific pricing they need to have to compete with everyone else in the market. But the majority of your sales just come from being in the right place at the right time with a good offer. If they trust you and you're confident in your service and that you can deliver a good service for them, and you know that you can, based on what you've seen, even if it's your first project, based on what you've seen from your freelancers, then you should be pretty happy with that. Yeah, for sure. Okay. And
Absolutely.
the next thing I thought we could talk about, Andre, is maybe, talk to us a little bit about the process of building up your profiles when you were a beginner, and going through different pricing, figuring out the best way to build up your profile, and what process you would go through if you were beginning.
Absolutely. So the main thing is when building a profile, you should always see what others are doing. So in the beginning, you need to know, okay, what things am I good in? What skills do I have? What can I use? What can I sell? And then you do your basic research. You see, oh, I'm good in designing. I'm good in copywriting. I'm good in whatever skills you have. I'm good in developing. There are a lot of fun things that people just want. A big thing is voiceover. Some people have amazing voices. They are doing podcasts for fun. So this is also a great gig. So the main thing is first finding what you're good at and then see the profiles that perform best. And the profiles that perform best are usually top rated, level 2 rated, or choice. So the Fiverr's choice, Upwork choice, Rising Talents, those are the things that you would be looking for. And then just copy and do the same. You want to present yourself in a consistent way. So do a few tests to show people that you have skills, that you are reliable, that you have credibility, and that you can deliver. Everything is about showing your clients that you can deliver what you're promising to deliver. And then if you're comfortable with, you should always create a video before you post a gig, before you post your offer. It just increases everything by a lot. And yeah, the first thing is just building your profile by showing your skills and seeing what already works and just do the same what already works. And then the next thing is by product development. So offering value with your process by not guessing, but deliver consistent work that is on point and doesn't make your client to think about a lot. So they should never be guessing, oh, what is happening with this? I don't understand. This is not good. That's basically your fault. You are not doing a great job. So is then also having a process, but you can basically build your process the way you go. When you deliver your first order, your second order, you know what people want, you know what they're asking for, and you can just deliver great, consistent products by having a process that works for you. Does it make sense?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And then in terms of, I guess, one question about that would be, if you were building your profile and figuring out who the top sellers were to kind of copy off and figure out your pricing and all of that, I guess the best way to discover that is just doing a little bit of research on the platform. In terms of Fiverr, you can just go look directly at the gigs. In terms of things like Upwork, you can make a post yourself and then look at people that apply, or also just go directly to ready-made projects on Upwork and People Per Hour and such that you can check out to see who are the best freelancers in your space. And I guess the other thing that we can discuss is, what about people where they don't want to be a freelancer right away? What if they want to automate the service right away? What's the best way for them to get started selling on these freelance networks?
Absolutely. So a lot of my students, they have money, they want to automate everything from the start, and that's a very good way to do it. So I did it personally. The first profile I did was invest a lot of time, do it slowly, then automate it gradually. And what I figure out is you can do everything from the start. So when you have the system, you can just find the right people that do some services, and you just do the basic math on seeing, okay, if I pay this person so much per month, I need so many projects. and then I can sell my project for this amount of money. And yeah, you can just do everything from the start. So what you basically need here is two people. One person that communicates, that does the management thing, and the other person that develops the products. And for product development, it can be really everyone. It is just very important to have procedures in place. So everything that happens, if you have no idea how a product is done, you want to interview whoever you hire, and you want to be an informed buyer. So you want to know how something is made and just go through the whole process with everyone you hire, see how they're making it, and also do it then for him and for you, just to have a consistent worksheet where you can deliver every project consistently.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely makes sense. And in terms of the process of developing your profiles over time, have you found, that you get a lot of more lower ticket sales, like in hundreds of dollars, or have you got in bigger projects as well? Maybe you can take us through kind of some general numbers to expect, just kind of generally. Obviously, it will really depend on the service that you're delivering, but in your own experience.
Absolutely. So the main thing here is people try to underbid forever. They try to be the cheap Indian person, which is not good. You should never do that. Because what I figured out in the beginning, I had a lot of clients, they were buying my gigs for $5. And those were the hardest clients to work with. They didn't know what they actually want. They just want something cheap and then go along and trying to figure out along the way. And that's just horrible. And people who spend more money, they usually know what they want. And they spend more money to get an expert doing it for them, and they know exactly what they want, especially if you communicate your process, your result with them, and advise them on why this is good for them. If you have the research, you are an expert, you are knowledgeable in your field, you should be able to do that. So in the beginning, I tried lower pricing, high pricing, mid-range pricing, and right now I'm pretty much the most expensive person on Upwork and on Fiverr, and I get regular sales from there. And it's just my personal decision, because I don't want more projects, I want less projects for more money. Because the more projects you have, the more hassle, the more client work is it, and the more there are more variables that goes with it. But when you have less project, you can deliver better, consistent work to your clients, and it's just way more fun to do it that way.
Yeah. Okay. And in terms of building up your profile as well, over time, I suppose the profit margins get better and better, because I think that the more projects you do, the less percentage that Upwork and Fiverr take as well.
So Fiverr, not really, no. In Fiverr, they always take 20%, which is a very fair deal. It's usually for marketing, you spend 50%, or depends on how much, but you should at least spend 50% to scale, to build up your business. But here they just take 20%, and there are 50 million people on that platform each month. It's just free marketing. It makes a lot of sense to invest that money with them. And on Upwork, they take, when it's below 500 that you're working on hourly, they take 20%, but after they take 10 and 5%, depends. And when you work with somebody directly, they take nothing. It's just, you have to learn the process, so you maximize your money, your output when selling your services there. And also there's like one point that I want to touch on. So the main thing on what you can expect from that platform is just which level you are, what services you provide. And I have a checklist that you can also maximize your whole marketing efforts. And it's not so really hard. It's just being more interactive on your social media platforms and all the platforms out there that people search and interact with. And what you can really expect is, so starting with $200 a month consistently 1,000, 5,000, 15,000. Really depends. For me, I'm doing way more because I have a pro profile, which is very hard to get right now, but I also have a level 2 profile and a top rated profile. And it just depends on which niche and which level you are. But yeah, this is one of the main things that I touch in my courses, how to go through the level system in record time, in the basic time that they have it on their platform, because you need to have your profile old at least 6 months to be level 2, and in those 6 months you should be actually level 2. And a lot of people don't do that because they don't put in the time to do the steps necessary for that. Does it make sense?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So that process is pretty straightforward, really, in terms of how many sales you need to get and how many positive reviews you need to have, and I think that there's another one that's like completion rate and such in order to get to those next levels. So yeah, that's really, really straightforward. And I think that a lot of people kind of overlook this freelance platform, especially in my community, obviously, because with drop servicing, we're all focused on kind of outbound marketing, paid advertising. We don't really focus on getting sales within the freelancer platforms themselves. And I haven't seen many business owners doing that. I did have one experience of it back when I started my first drop servicing business. I found that one of the people I was working with, who I hired on Upwork, actually just had a team that he was outsourcing the work to, and he was like kind of a digital nomad. He was traveling around the world while his team was doing all of the delivery for my project. So he was basically drop servicing my drop services. It was a bit strange, but yeah. So I didn't find out till later on as well. He didn't even tell me anything about it. A little bit weird, but yeah. So obviously it's been working for a long time as well, and people have been doing it for a long time. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in getting a little bit more into it. I have actually started doing it. I know I told you since we spoke last, like a year ago or something, we started implementing it in some of our businesses, and yeah, we're already getting results with it. So it is an easy process to follow if you actually put in the work, but obviously it's kind of a long-term thing as well. You need to be on those platforms applying for projects, and it's really not that hard. You just need to consistently be out there and putting in the work and making offers, and you'll build up your profiles pretty quickly. It's kind of like putting a product on Amazon.com. You're going to get a lot of free organic traffic coming to it because so many people are coming to it. So it's kind of like the Amazon of services, you can say, even, Fiverr and Upwork.
It's absolutely like that. So a lot of my friends, they do Amazon businesses, but for me, it's just a service business. It's way better because you don't have the hassle with the physical products. It comes a lot with it. So the product can be defective. It's the shipping thing, and there's so many variables that goes with it. But when you deliver a service, it's just, you can do everything just by using your computer. You don't need to have anything physical. It's all about communication. Communication is number one. It's key. And when you said before that, yeah, I also had somebody that was working for me and they were drop servicing the business. And one of the main things that really needs to be implemented here is communication and delivering consistent work. The person that was doing that for me, first 2 projects were amazing. After that, it was just, do I need to really talk to you? Do I really need to? And we're just, the deliverables were bad, and no, I don't want to work with you anymore. I will get somebody else. So for me, when somebody does this, it's amazing when they actually deliver consistent work. That's everything I care about as a client.
Yeah, me too. At the end of the day, and it is difficult to find good people. I mean, usually you'll go through a few people to find the delivery team or the project manager or the salesperson or the lead generator, whatever it may be that works for you. And most people need to realize that, the hiring process isn't, you post a job and then you hire the first person that applies. You're usually going to go through a process of hiring and firing until you find that perfect person. And that's just every company in the world is doing that. So people are constantly being fired and hired.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just, so again, communication, and just being consistent with your work. That's the most important thing. And a lot of people that actually work as designers or as subcontractors, as freelancers, they want to do everything by themselves because, I get all the money, whatever I sell, I get 100% of it, and you get stuck with that very fast. And a lot of people move to the agency model, to the business model, because they don't know how to do it correctly. And the correct thing is just building your personal brand and having a team that delivers consistent work. That's the main important thing also in a job servicing business and a freelancer business.
Yeah, it's so true. And over the long term, you bring on clients that you build good relationships with. They come back to you for more services, different services, same one, or even just having recurring services. So you're really building a portfolio of clients over the long term as well. And especially when it comes to things like a freelancer profile, you're literally building your profile with every single sale because the reviews are piling up, the amount earned is piling up, and your levels are going up when it comes to Fiverr. So the more projects you get, the faster you're building your profiles. And there's a lot of strategies that we'll get into that allow you to actually build those profiles faster using some kind of secret tactics that Andrej has developed. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. But really awesome interview, Andrej. You shared a lot of good knowledge there, I think. And just to close things up here, is there anything that you would want to share with people that are maybe getting started with their business for the first time?
Absolutely. So if you're looking for starting the freelancer business, you should go on the website mastery.andrejthefreelancer.com, and you will have a basic checklist if you want to do it on your own. If you want to build a profile, I have a checklist for Upwork, for Fiverr, and for how to start building your own basic brand and start freelancing full-time. But if you just want to do it on the side, it's the best way to do it when you have a steady income, when you have work that you're already doing. You can start earning on the side. This is the best way to do it. And you're welcome to join my course, and we will guide you through the whole process on how to become a freelancer.
Awesome. Cool. So thanks for the interview, Andrej, and I'm sure we'll do another one soon.
Okay, thanks for having me.